it's such a beautiful morning. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 100% restoration and remodel of my great-great-grandfather's $7,000 mansion. Now, as we can tell by the massive swimming pool we have sitting outside of the house right now, it's raining. So this means today we will not be working outside. We will be in the basement of the house. We have the dingo down here in the corner. We're gonna get this bad boy fired up, and we are going to try to rip up the concrete in this room. We're gonna try to rip up the concrete in this room, and we are going to try to rip up the concrete in this room. All right, Justin, what do you think our #1 challenge is going to be for today?
Probably ripping this room up. The concrete's thicker, harder to get the dingo in there, harder to get good angles, so it's gonna be tough.
And what about you, Roman? What do you think the easiest thing about today is going to be?
That everything is gonna stay inside for now, and we're not gonna have to spend time taking it out. It's gonna be a big pile of mess here. And it's not hot. That's a good thing.
It went from 95 degrees a couple days ago to 66 degrees this morning, so we are all sweatshirted up, which you'd think it'd be like air conditioning being on, but it feels like somebody left the freezer open.
Is the freezer open?
Oh, burr. Not anymore! And then due to the fact that we have the Atlantic Ocean sitting right outside of the foundation wall hole that we have cut, we are not going to be able to get our skid loader up and down this ramp because it will get stuck. So when we tear up our concrete, we're gonna have to have big staging piles in here, which is gonna be a little bit annoying because we're gonna have to double handle the material. But it's one of the things, we gotta work with the weather and this needs to be done. So here we go, we're gonna fire up the dingo and get started. If you're not familiar, this is the dingo. It's a stand behind skid loader. We're renting this bad guy for a week, and it is the absolute lifesaver for us to be able to get this job done in a day instead of spending 10 on it.
It's not me, it's the pump.
Working in the basement, and we just have those little windows that we can crack open, and we have the big one on this side, but it doesn't really help us in the back side of the house. We have to basically run for a little bit, then stop, let it air out, run for a little bit, stop, let it air out, so we can let the fumes get out of here. Otherwise it gets pretty perfumey, smelly with the diesel fuel, burns your eyes, and probably not the best thing to breathe, but we're starting to get the first little bit out here. It's actually going better than expected. We are piling it up in this room. So then hopefully later, once this rain stops, we'll be able to just come scoop right in here, be able to pick this up, and we can throw it out the door. The rain is continually coming down. It lightens up for a little bit, and all of a sudden it just starts to pour, and then this turns into a river, and we've already pumped this out twice. See now, look, it's picking up again. Big drops coming down. But you can just watch that little waterfall come down. We get a nice big one that comes running right around the edge of that hot water heater once we get enough rain coming down. But we're gonna kick the sump pump on here in just a second, drain this back down. I am glad that we left a little bit of foundation wall right here, because if this was not here, all of that would just be coming right into the basement. Right underneath these big support poles, they have a big block of concrete called a footer that's holding all of the load that this pole is holding up. In the other room, there used to be a pole in the center of it, and so Roman right now is jackhammering a lot. Big chunk of concrete right there that the dingo cannot get out by itself. I know
Are you having a good day? Are you okay? You sure?
That's very satisfying.
Justin, it's okay. Just take it out on the concrete. I think the rain outside has now stopped. We have a little miniature Lake Superior right here. Sump pump's already in place. I think we're gonna plug this thing back in and see if we can get this to drain out. And then hopefully that'll dry up a little bit. Then we can get the skid loader down here. Now, as much as this is going to make an absolute gigantic muddy mess of the ramp and the yard, I'm gonna go out to the shed, grab the skid loader, and I'm gonna use some of that dirt we have up there, which is hopefully a lot drier than what we have down here. I'm gonna bring that down. I'm gonna build this up a little bit so we can at least cover up this mud puddle. And then hopefully we'll be able to get the skid loader up and down that ramp so that way we can start getting this big pile of concrete out, because the concrete we still need to do is underneath that big pile, so that needs to go first. We did get this room done. We have just a very little left underneath of the chimney, but that's gonna be a one-guy project because that thing is being an absolute bear cat to get out. So, we'll see how this works playing in the mud. Well, that actually worked pretty good. I was able to bring some somewhat damp dirt down in here. Tracks are definitely muddy, but hey, we're not standing in that standing water anymore. We can get up and down. We're gonna try to load the skid loader bucket full of this rubble and see if we can get this room empty now.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling, that feeling, that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling, that feeling, that
As we're completely done with that side, now all we have left is the side where we have an opening. We're gonna move stuff out of the way on the other side. Probably we'll have to move the posts a couple times, but we'll see. And start stripping this side.
Justin and Roman are downstairs. They're going to keep tearing concrete out. I have a little bit of computer work I am going to do, so welcome to my office. And I have a fly in my office. Oh boy, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And speaking of office, let me give you a little bit of a tour of the office facilities that I have been using while the house has been under construction. When I need to charge my computer, the microwave is my desk. When Justin and Roman are being loud like right now, then I come out here to my outside front lawn seat, chair, desk, and I have to put my laptop literally on my lap. And then if it's raining or really windy and I don't want to get out and come into the house, then I can just sit in the driveway in one of the vehicles and work on my laptop in there. And honestly, all in all, I don't really mind it too much, other than having to wipe a layer of dust off my laptop every half hour or so. This is not too bad. All right, that's enough of the office tour. I am completely procrastinating the work that needs to be done on my computer right now, so I'm gonna try to get this done. Hopefully I can get back downstairs and keep helping Justin and Roman.
Okay, we're going to continue, but we don't want to disturb these posts. There's a footer underneath, so we're just gonna simply chip around to weaken the concrete so when it breaks, it doesn't disturb the pad.
About 2 hours later, sweet, we are done with computer stuff. Let's go help Justin and Roman. Whoa, whoa, whoa. On the way down to the basement, our concrete pile is getting big. And look at those beans back there. Woo. Justin and Roman got a lot done while I was working on the computer. They got this entire back corner all done. That's done. This is done. This is done. We got that room done. Roman is now working on the last little bit underneath the stairs. This is quite interesting. At the bottom of the stairs, Roman just came in with the dingo and he tore up some concrete. There's another layer of concrete under the top layer, so we got double trouble right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, good news. This is the last major load out of this basement. We still have a couple spots where we can pick stuff off, but all of the concrete is gone.
All right, don't mind me wearing a different outfit now. Roman and I got this area here at the bottom of the stairs all tore out, and then we had an arm wrestling practice that we went to. Roman has a really big arm wrestling tournament at the end of the year coming up, and he's training for that. So he's trying to win that, bad guy. And I am training to try to get my first win in competition. So I am extremely sore. We went to an arm wrestling practice with a bunch of really strong guys and we had fun. I learned a lot. I'd never been to one of those before, but I completely forgot to wrap up what we all got done and what we still got planned in the house. So here we are. We got all the concrete out. It looks so much different now. Now we still have a couple days of rent left on the dingo, so we're gonna utilize this as much as we absolutely can. If we look at the floor now, we are just left down to bare dirt. And now we're not gonna be able to tell this on camera, but if we set a laser where I'm standing, that corner of the house is about 8 to 10 inches higher than this corner of the house. And so we need to actually lower dirt down on this side, and we need to lower a lot of dirt down on that side. And then over here, we just need to lower a little bit, but the dingo is going to make that so much easier. So that is what we are going to be doing next. We need to get a laser in here, then we need to figure out what grade we need to get the floor down to. So we are going to be digging this floor down and getting the entire thing at the same height. And then once we get done with that, we will be able to start digging our trench lines for where our floor drains, where septic lines are going to go through, because we need to have all that stuff done before we can pour our concrete, because that stuff is going to be inside of the concrete. So once we get things to grade, then we'll start digging trenches and we'll run septic lines, drain lines, the perimeter drain lines, and everything like that. And then things get a little more difficult. Potentially. This is the stairway for the basement. And if we look right there, we see a big black hole in the side of it. That is literally the bottom of the foundation wall. They did not go all the way down to the ground like they did with these ones. For whatever reason, they stopped it right there. So we have a feeling that continues all the way underneath the stairs. And these stairs have been a entrance point for mice and rats and everything else through the years. So I can only imagine what it looks like underneath there. And we would kind of like to do this over there. So that's why I say it could be a little bit of a can of worms coming, because we're gonna need to do that before we're able to finish out the rest of the floor. Once we get all our septic stuff in here with the equipment, then get that corner done, obviously underneath the stairs. But then once we do that, then we need to come in here, we need to bring rock. So that way we're pouring our concrete on top of rock, and then if water gets in underneath the concrete, it would drain out through that rock. Then we got to put insulation down, heated floor lines, rebar, and then we'd be ready to pour it. And when we're pouring that, then we can have everything tie in with everything underneath of the stairs all in one. So it's just a step-by-step process. And I honestly don't know what that corner is going to look like. It could go really easy. It could be difficult. I really don't know. I've never done this before. We'll probably dig into it, find out what's wrong, look up a few YouTube video examples, maybe call a friend or two who has some basement experience and see if they have any way they can advise us, or somebody they can point us to who can advise us to be able to help us at least figure out what we need to do. And then we'll go from there. I am looking forward to getting done with this demo stuff. I enjoy the demo stuff, but when we get on the actual just building, things are going to go so fast. We're still on the, you got to figure out what to do little bits at a time and then build it, support things, build, support, where when we get into this new part, it'll just be dig, pour concrete, we can start building, and things should fly up so fast. But to be completely honest, I'm not as concerned with the concrete stuff right now, because if we get all the demo stuff done, all the work that the dingo is going to do, so the grading, the getting the rock down here, everything spread out, then we can pour concrete when the new part over here is made, because we can just run a line pumper down the stairs and we can pour this basically anytime we want. So more concerned about the demo side, the grading, getting everything done with this, but man, look at the progress we have made. We got a lot done in here. But with that being said, it's starting to get a little bit late. Everybody left. My forearms are sore, so I'm gonna go home and rest, because we're gonna hit it hard when we start again.